So, if you live in an apartment, you've probably thought about this. The dream of owning an electric car often hits a very real wall. Literally. I mean, where do you plug it in? Today, we're not just going to talk about that problem. We're actually going to break down a real-world blueprint from a community that solved it.
Right? It's the big question for pretty much anyone living in a multi-unit building. You're all set to go electric, but your parking spot is just a parking spot. There's no outlet in sight. And look, this isn't just some small inconvenience. It is often the single biggest thing stopping millions of people from making the switch. So let's see how one community completely cracked the code.
And let's be clear, for the millions of people living in apartment buildings, this is a huge problem. The lack of charging infrastructure isn't just annoying, it's a total deal breaker for so many who want to go electric. You know, folks in the industry actually have a name for this. They call it the charging gap. It's that really frustrating space between wanting an EV and being able to, actually charge it conveniently overnight at home. Closing this gap is one of the biggest challenges out there if we want to build truly EV-ready cities.
Okay, but what if one community could create a model that everyone else could follow? We're going to dive into a specific case study where the residents, the building management, and a couple of really innovative companies all came together to bridge that exact gap.
And our story takes us right here to the SMR Vinay Galaxy Apartment complex in Bangalore, India. Now, this isn't some theoretical plan, it's a real solution that was put to the test in a super busy city, which honestly makes it the perfect case study.
And the whole solution was born from a really clever partnership. You had EcoSoch, a clean energy infrastructure company, and they teamed up with Plugzmart, which is one of India's top EV charger manufacturers. Together, they just decided to tackle this problem head-on.
So how'd they do it? Well, they used a really simple, practical process to take this whole thing from just an idea to a fully functioning charging station. Let's walk through it.
Their plan had 4 really clear stages. First up, a site audit to figure out the smartest, most cost-effective way to do things. Then, they moved on to a detailed design and a proposal. Next came the actual physical installation. And finally, the super important setup and safety checks to make sure everything worked just right. It's a surprisingly straightforward roadmap, really.
Okay, now here's the first really smart move. During that site audit, they found a spot that wasn't just convenient for residents to get to, but it was also right next to the main electrical panel. That one decision saved a ton of money and complexity on all the wiring. Just brilliant.
But the audit revealed the real game changer. It turns out the building already had 14 kilowatts of spare electrical capacity just sitting there, completely unused. By tapping into this, they avoided all the massive costs, the paperwork, and even potential fines that come with upgrading a building's entire electrical service. This discovery, right here, is what made the whole project feasible.
And get this, even though they had to literally cut into the road to lay down the cables, the whole installation was finished in just 2 days. 2! It just goes to show that projects like this don't have to mean weeks and weeks of disruption for residents.
All right, so the hardware is in the ground. But the biggest question is, what's it actually like to use? Let's dive into the user experience because that's what really matters.
This thing is incredibly versatile. They installed a single charging unit, but it can power 3 vehicles all at the same time. It has a dedicated Type 2 connector, for modern electric cars, but it also has 2 universal sockets that can handle both electric scooters and cars. It's all about getting the maximum utility from a single piece of hardware. Which brings us to probably the most important question for daily life in this apartment complex. Is it actually easy to use? Well, the answer lies in an app. Honestly, the process couldn't be any simpler. You just walk up, scan a QR code on the charger, and the Plugzmart app handles absolutely everything else. You can see if the charger's free, you can pre-book a slot for later, you get updates on your phone while your car's charging, and then you pay instantly through a digital wallet. No fumbling for cash, no complicated billing, it's just seamless. And it's not just easy for the residents. The building's management team, the Resident Welfare Association, gets a full software dashboard to monitor usage and payments, which are all reimbursed automatically. Plus, the whole system came with a full year of free maintenance. It's a truly hands-off solution for everyone involved.
So what does this one successful installation really mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, its impact goes way beyond the walls of just a single apartment complex.
And this is why this story is so important. It's not just about one building, it's a blueprint that can be copied and pasted. The problems they solved here are the exact same ones faced by apartment complexes all over the world. This project proves that there is a clear, cost-effective path forward.
This quote from the team behind the project really captures the spirit of it all, doesn't it? This is about more than just convenience. It's about using smart collaboration and technology to build a more sustainable future, one community at a time.
What this project shows is that with some smart planning and the right partnerships, that charging gap we talked about, it's not a permanent barrier. It's just a problem that's waiting to be solved. Which leaves us with one last question. If this community can do it, who's next? Maybe it's yours.